They say university makes students, here students make university. So with the slogan of Think Big, I, Himanshi Kaushik, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar on From Concept to Reality, a journey through the construction process. And I hope that you all are fine, happy and sound at wherever you're taking this webinar from. So before we move on and learn a lot more about the engineering, civil engineering to be very specific, and the construction process, we have our expert with us today. So I shall introduce you to our expert. We have Mr. Vishal Kumar Podar, sir, Assistant Professor, Civil Engineering Department, School of Polytechnic, Lovely Professional University here with us. He is a magnetic personality with over 10 years of teaching experience and has done his post-graduation from NIT Jalandhar and has been a part of various conferences, national and international seminars as well. So, sir, I heartily welcome you in the webinar and looking forward for an amazing session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible now? Okay, ma'am. So, shall we start now?
Yes, sir, definitely. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you all. And first, already I'm introduced by ma'am, Himanshi ma'am. So today we are going to discuss about the topic from concept to reality, journey through the construction process. As I'm the faculty of civil engineering, so this is a topic, a core topic of the civil engineering. So in this next 30 to 40 minutes, we are going to discuss about the process of the construction process of the concept to reality, because civil engineering, it is all about the journey from the initial concept to the final constructions. It requires a lots of planning, coordinations, and hard work. When we say the planning, so in the planning, it consists of the make the 2D plan of the building. So from the selection of the site. So they are the points we are going to, various points we are going to discuss, which is related to the, which comes under the planning. Then coordinations. When we say the coordinations, because in the construction process, the number of people's, it is a group of number of people's works in the construction process. It is, for example, if we say the civil engineers, project manager, the laborers, the workers, the masons. So you have to do, as well as the architect. There's the role of the architects also there in the construction process. So that's why we need the proper coordinations between all the people. So, and as well as the hard work. So hard work is required for the construction process. So that's why the topic is from concept to reality, because whatever we are thinking, whatever the concept we have, to convert them into the real practical, practically we have to prove that whatever we have the idea about that. So in this webinar, we are going to we will take you through the various process. So how to be turned into the physical structures, our ideas into the physical structures. You can take any example of the constructions, because they all are the idea of the physical concept, from the process ideas to the physical stress. So we start with this, and from when we start, what are the, these are the contents we are going to discuss. So first part, we discuss about the design and planning, because we are discussing about the construction process. So when we say the construction process, so in the design and planning, we have, after the designing and planning, we go with the permitting and approvals, because when we start to construct the buildings, we need some permissions as well as the approvals from the government, like that. Then once we get the permissions, then we will go for the site preparation. We have to select the site, we have to prepare the site, we have to do the preparations, that the various points which which we generally include in the site. That is, we are going to discuss that. We have the laying of foundation, or we can say that in short, layout. Whatever the idea we have, we got the permissions, whatever we have designed, we have planned. So that is to lay out that idea into the ground. So we cover this into the laying of foundation and the construction of the superstructures. When we say superstructures, the upper part of the buildings as well as the foundations. Then installation of system. When we say the installation of systems, in which in this part we are going to discuss about the various systems like for the electrical equipments, plumbing equipments. So we are just going to discuss about that point. Then we have the finishing touches. At the end, in this part, after the constructions process, after all the finishing touches, so we have to do we have to do the finishing touches like plaster, painting. So we are going to discuss about that, and at that we have the conclusion, and we also see some real life examples of the constructions. And then if we say in all the points whatever we discussed here in the content, the design and planning, permitting and approvals, so we are going to discuss about that point, as well as what are the challenges faced by the civil engineers. So whatever the points I'm going to discuss here, this is the role of the civil engineers to convert the ideas into the reality. That is what we are going to discuss. So in each topic we are going to discuss about what is the topic and what are the challenges they are facing during the construction process, and so that we you can aware about the what are the various points and challenges faced by the engineers. So we will start with the first point, that is design and planning. So when we say the design and planning, so let us suppose if you have any area, any land, and we have planned to construct a building, either 2 BHK, 3 BHK, 1 BHK according to the desire. So first we have to consult with the architects. When we say the coordinations, because coordination is required with the architect and as well as the other professional, not only the architect, with the other professional. First, civil engineers always will work with the architects, with the other professionals, as well as the to come up with the plan that meets the need of the projects. Let us suppose if we have to start. Let us suppose we are working, and architect and professionals comes up with a plan. We have to construct the 2 BHK plans. So let us suppose there is a clients who come to you, and they have their desire that we have to work. They have to construct. They have own desire that whatever their desires, we have to work on them. We have to use the softwares to make the 2D plan as well as the 3D plans. There are the lots of civil engineering. There are the lots of software also to make this 2D plan. There the AutoCAD. Then we have the Revit. Like this, there are the lots of number of the softwares we can use to make the plan. So the points, generally main points which are actually involved in this design and planning are the developing a detailed design. When we say the design, not only the design of the 2D, we are not only draw the 2D model, as well as we have to do the construction design also, which type of parts, what is the load of the structures, then what kind of materials is required, which kind of material is required. Then important point is the analyzing cost. Somehow at the end we require the it depends upon the cost. So first, before starting, we calculate the cost. What are the money? What are the amount of money is going to be spent? Generally, approximately idea that we have to analyze the cost of the material, analyze the cost of the labor, a worker, a number of days required. According to that, we give a approximate cost of that construction process, whatever the design we have designed. Then ensuring that the project meets all the relevant safety standards and the regulations. Because whatever the design we do, so it also meets the relevant safety standards and regulation. Because we know in the civil engineering, if we construct a house, so there is a different standard codes are available in the civil engineering department. So we have to follow that code according to the IS code. Let's take an example that there's an Indian standard code, IS 456 2000 is used to construct the concrete, for the concrete work. If you do with the concrete, we have to follow the guidelines which are provided in the code. So that is what we have to do follow. So that is what the third point, that ensuring the project meet all the relevant safety standards and regulations. So these are the points generally the civil engineer have to take care of that. Because uh, in the design and planning, we have to take a think about of the client, that what is their desire. Then by the coordination of the architect and the civil engineers, they used to start with a 2D plan or a design proper, like that. Then when we go with this, what are the challenges generally they are facing during the design and uh, planning? So this is the basically points, because we have the idea, we have to convert them into the practical uh, thing, that we have to construct it practically. So the idea is, concept is different, practically we have, there's a lots of challenges we have to face. So generally there are some points, what are the challenges generally civil engineers face during this design and planning. So balancing design creativity with the functional as well as the practical consideration. Whatever the design we think, it should be, we provided the creativity on the paper, but practically is it possible or not? That is what we have to make the balance. That whatever we have think, okay, this is the design, this is the creative design we have to do, but is it possible or not? That is what, so we have to always take care of the balancing between the design creativity and the functional as well as the practical consideration. Is it, then second point, challenges faced by the civil engineers during the design and planning is the meeting project deadlines and budgets. Because we have to take care of the budgets. Meeting project deadline is a very much important part, because as well as the deadline will if the date of the deadline will be increased, so the cost of the project will be increased as well. So it is a directly proportional. So that's why timeline is very much important part. So always we have to always stick to the deadline. So this is the challenge for the civil engineers to do, complete the work in the estimated time. Then addressing potential design flaws and construction issues before they become problems. This is very important point, because if we find any kind of flaws are there in the design construct, let us suppose we think about and we have designed it, but later on we find that is there any flaws in the design and there is any construction issue at the site. So before becomes the problems, we have to be take it, we have to about that concern, we have to take care of that, and we have to ensure that no, this problem is okay. Then coordination is very much important, coordinating with the architect and other professionals to ensure that design meets the need of project and client. Because as this is the project of the client, as workers are the civil engineers as well as the architects. So civil engineers and architects are there at the so we have to work with this professionals, so that the whatever the need of the project is there, what is the need, whatever the need of the client is there, it should be meet, and there's a proper coordination between the architects and other professionals as well as the civil engineers. So always we have to take care of the challenges, because we think about this, okay, we have to construct this kind of house, this should be safe and whatever the design, but always we have to take what are the challenges, and we have to that is what we have to take care in the civil engineering, right? Now, after whatever the points we discuss, right? So this is all about the design. That with according to our creativity, we have designed, we have make an different kind of the models, like 2D plan for the building, but that permission and permitting and approvals is required for that for construction any kind of projects, right? So first we have to submitting the plans and the application for the approvals. We have got into the coordinating with the government agencies and ensuring that the project meets all the applicable regulations, because we have to take care of the regulations of the government during the construction of the any project. Is it bridges, is it building or whatever? So we have to make sure, then when we get the permission for the construction of any house. Otherwise if you not taking any kind of permission and approvals from the government for the constructions, it will be considered as illegal constructions, right? And then that's why these are the points we have to take care. Next point is civil engineers must be familiar with all the relevant regulations, zoning law to ensure that in this case, zoning law ensure that the project complies with the local and state requirements. This is what always we have to take care, because the role of civil engineer is very tough in this case, because the at that person or whatever the civil engineers must be familiar with all the guidelines of the government, so that uh, if let us suppose if you are constructing, you are doing the construction in different part of the India, in Punjab, in Haryana, in Madhya Pradesh. So they have all state government as well as the local authorities have their own, law. So they have to follow that regulations. We have to follow that laws for the construction. So that's where for the local permission is required in that case for the construction of any kind of project. Then civil engineers may need to make changes to their design on the construction plans in order to obtain the necessary permits and approvals. So we have to take care that whatever the design you have prepared according to your creativity, or whatever the plans you have prepared, if they need the changes for the approval, you have to change, because you have to follow the law or related programs, that whatever the zoning law is there according to the local authorities, state requirements, you have to change for the permission and approval. That is very much important part before construction of any kind of project. You have to take the permission as well as approval from the local and state government. Now, what are the challenges we faced? That is what we have to discuss here, right? So we have to understanding and navigating complex regulatories and zoning laws, right? Because when you go through the various different laws of different state, different zone, so this is very complex. So we have to understand this properly. That is the challenge for the civil engineers. Then we have this addressing concern or objections from the local stakeholders or community members, because now from the local stakeholders or community members, we have to address the objections. If they are having the objections, they have to consult them. We have to talk to them for uh, solve that problem. If any kind of the confusion is there, right, that is also a kind of uh, challenges. Ensuring that the project meets all appliance safety and environmental standards, right? If you start the project, it should not violate the environment, as well as it should not violate any kind of safety regulations by the as per the code standards, right? So we have to follow, that is the challenges of the civil engineers. Then the same points again, meeting deadlines and obtaining permits and approval to avoid constructions delay, right? Because at that time we have that timeline is very much important. In this case, we have to meeting the deadlines of the projects permit, as soon as we get the permissions approvals, so that construction delays will not be there. And if the construction delay will be there, it will affect the cost, and that will be the problems for the uh, you know uh, it will directly affect the economy of the building or project. So that's why this is very much important. So for permitting and approvals, so a civil engineer should have the knowledge. That's why this. Now, once you got the permission from the civil government about them, so then we do the site preparations, because the site directly we don't go to the site and we start the construction works. We have to do some the process. There are the lots of process for that, but there are some 2 or 3 process steps I mentioned here. That is clearing the site. Second one is grading the land, and third one is installing temporary structures like fences and portable toilets. First, whatever the land you have selected for the project, so first you have to go there. We have to clear that site. That is very much important point, because first we have to clean the site, because there are the irregular surface, there are the lots of vegetation products are there, waste materials are there. So for starting the work, we have to prepare the site. That is very much important part in this case. So that's why clearing the site is very much important in these steps. This is the process of the construction actually. Whatever the point where I'm discussing here, they all are the process, right? So clearing the site is required, then grading the land, because somewhere the height, we have to make the uniform surface of the land. That's why grading is important in this case. So because it should be in a same level all the part of the ground or all the part of the construction site. Then for the workers, we have to install the temporary structures Then we have to fences, we have to temporary fences is required for the security purpose, and the portable toilets for the workers. So this is very much important. As well as along with this, there are the lots of points we have to take care that we construct a small hut for the labor and workers so that they can stay there in the night time, they can live there for that during the construction project. So there are the lots of points we have to take care during the site process, site preparation. So once there are some challenges are faced during the site preparations also, that is what we are going to discuss about the site preparation. What are the challenges you're going to uh, face? So evaluating and addressing the potential hazards such as soil condition or environmental risk, because you are going to the new place, so you are not aware about the condition of the soil, you are not about the that is this any the environmental risk is there. Then second point, we have to take care about the coordinating with the contractor to ensure that the site preparation is completed on time and within budget. So this is the role of the civil engineer, that coordinating, always we have to coordinate with the contractor to, because site preparation always in the budget only, because once it will take the time, the time construction cost or project cost will be increased. So that's why within the budget and the stipulated, that this is the role of the civil engineers, that you are always we have to consider the economical point of view, that economy is very much important part in this case. Then next point is ensuring that site preparation meets all the relevant safety and environmental standards. These are the, I think, common points in this case, because safety is very much required as well in all the steps in the relevant safety and environmental standards, right? So we have in the site preparation meets all the relevant safety and environmental standards. This is the role of the civil engineers, and this is the very challenging work for the civil engineers during the construction process to do this work. That's why I mentioned here. Then managing the site logistics such as traffic and noise control to minimize the disruption to the surrounding community. Because whenever you start the work, so you have to use the various heavy materials, big machinery equipment, bulldozers like that. So they have the very heavy noise. So that we have to also control that noise, as well as the traffic problems will not be occurred. So that there will be no disruptions to the surrounding community for the of this construction work. Now, once the site preparation is done, we have to start with the layout. I have written here the topic laying of foundation and the construction of super structures, but this is, you can say, that layout of the whatever the 2D plan we have constructed, we have to do the layout, because now it's practical works we have to do. Once the site preparation is there, now your land is ready for construction process, right? So we have to prepare the foundation layout. The foundation layout drawing for excavation is prepared by the structural designers and approved by the architect, because this is very much important part. Foundation layout is there, so we have to do the layout on the actual ground according to the 2D plan whatever we have prepared, and that is drawing for the excavation is start after proper according to the 2D plan of the building, right? Yeah, as second word is the excavation work. Excavation work is required there, as well as anti-termite treatment, because before constructing, you know, as well as in the last topic, we have discussed that there are the challenges of the condition of the soil. Maybe if there is a lots of termite is there, so later on after the construction of the structures, the termite is going to eat. This is kind of disease for the construct building or whatever the construction materials there. That's why before starting the project, in the foundation we have to do the anti-termite treatment, and there are the lots of techniques are available for the anti-termite treatment for the construction, because we have to take care of this point as a civil engineers. And when we say the foundation, then we do the foundation construction. I will also show you the different, because there are the lots of different types of the foundation, types of foundation is there. So we discuss about the foundation constructions, then curing of the house foundations, because curing is required is there, and we have to take care of the curing, because curing is the important part. When we say that curing is the watering of the foundation or whatever the concrete, we can say that in short. Now we'll discuss what are the challenges we generally face during this. So when we say that what are the challenges we face during this, ensuring the foundation is strong, is enough to support the weight of the structure, because that foundation, when we say the foundation, the total load of the building is, you know, uh, uh, total load of the building is rested on the foundation. That's why we have to always ensure that the foundation is strong enough to support the weight of the structures. Then addressing the unexpected construction issues such as subsurface condition or change in the design. So we have to always, as a civil engineers, we have to always ready for this kind of the problems which is occurred. Then ensuring that the framing meets all the relevant safety and building codes. As already in the first in its start of this webinar, I told you that there the lots number of the codes is available. That is, one of the code is IS 456-2000, which generally meets the guidelines for the construction of the concrete work. So we have to follow that code for the all the safety and building codes. Then managing construction timelines and budgets to avoid delay and cost overrun. So always this is required for the as an civil engineers. As a civil engineers, we have to take care of this, and we have to manage the timelines as well as the budget to avoid the delay. So these are the some pictures you can see here for the foundation and construction of the superstructures. They are the different types of the foundation for the different types of the building, for the different type of the structures. We have the number of the types of foundation is there. These are the types of the servo foundation. As they are the two main types of the foundation, servo and T, and these are the examples of the servo foundations. And these are the construction process of the superstructures. When we start with this, the example of the towers, and you have seen the number of flats around you when you visit the Noida or Delhi, you will find this kind of apartments. So these are the parts of the superstructures. Now, once we complete with the superstructures foundations, now next step is you have done with the concreting part of the structures or constructions. Then we install some systems, that is electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. When we say the HVAC, it is the heat, ventilation, and air conditioners, right? We know that this is very much important for the building or for installation this kind of system. Electrical equipment is required there, plumbing is required there, then heat is required, then ventilation system is required, as well as the air condition is required in that case. So after this we have to install all this, and we are aware about, because this topic yeah, this type of the installation is very familiar to us, because wherever we are residing there, we have seen the installation of the electrical parts, installation of the plumbing parts, installation of the AC, installation of the heater, ventilation. So these are the points which is covered here in the installation of the system, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. HVAC is actually the heat, ventilation, and air conditioner, right? So now, what are the challenges faced during this? That always, we have to coordinate with the contractor and other professional to ensure that all the systems are installed correctly and meet the needs of the project. Addressing potential design conflict or issue with the system into it, because as a civilian we have to take care, and always you have to address the any kind of conflict or issues during the installations, as well as coordination is required there. And same here, so that all the system meets all the relevant safety and building codes, and timeline and budget is always should be managed to avoid any kind of delay, and as well as the cost overrun. This is very important part here, right, for the installation of system. So as I'm going to show you the different type of the electrical installation in the building, you can see the somewhere we have to, first, after completing of the constructions part in the building, this kind of installations are done for the completing of the structures. You can see these are the installation of the electrical, and you are aware about all these parts. I think this is very familiar to us. Then as well as the installation of the plumbing systems in the building and constructions, then various heaters, ventilations, as well as the air conditioners, installations. These are the various different type of the installation process. Then at the end, very important part is this finishing touch, because finishing touches is very important. Why? Because whatever the construction we do, this is incomplete without the finishing touches. So first we say what are the points we covered in the finishing touches: installing flooring, plastering, pointing, painting, varnishing, white cover washing, or distempering. These are the some points which are comes under the finishing touches. When we say the finishing touches, installing flooring, so you have seen the different types of floor, uh, tile flooring, marble flooring, wooden flooring. There are the number of the floorings. After at the end we have to do with this, right? And that is very, for the static point of view, we have to take care of this because flooring is required. We do the tile flooring as well. Then plastering is important for the aesthetic view as well as to protect the building from the outer weathering agencies. When we say the outer weathering agencies is the rain, water, sun, where the number of the weathering agencies are there. Then we have the pointing. You have seen the when we do the brickwork. So in the brickwork, between the two bricks, we have to make them the aesthetic, good static view. We make a proper pattern there on the wall. When we don't do the plastering, then we painting. After doing the plastering and pointing, we do the painting. As in the pictures also we can see. Then vernishing is also kind of the painting here. Then color washing is the kind of different. Uh, it is the kind of paintings. So finishing touches is very much important in the construction process. Then we that challenges we are going to discuss here, that ensuring that finishing touches made all the design and the construction plan, right? So whatever the finishing touches we are, as well as for the if we take the example of the plaster, so we have to take care that plasters in the plaster, what is the ratio of the cement, what is the ratio of cement and sand, we have to take care of that, and it should meet the design finishing design criteria, construction plans. Then coordinating with the contractor and other professionals to ensure that all the finishings touches are installed correctly on time. Than addressing any kind of issues or concern that arises during the finishing touch phase. Conducting a final inspection to ensure that the project meets all the relevant safety and building codes. Because once we have not to be that, okay, if the worker is doing a finishing work, but we have to do the final inspection for that, so that that project meets all the relevant safety and they are doing as per the design process. Now, these are the example of the finishing touch. You can see here that uh, plastering, painting, then pointing. You can see here on the bottom part that this is the process of the pointing here, right? Now, these are actually, when we say that once we do the finishing touch, we are ready for, you can start their living. We can use that building for our purpose. So we can see when we start with the design and planning, we end with the finishing touches. In this, this is the very hard work of all the professionals working there, all the architects there. So the role of civil engineers is very hard for this, because they are going to convert their the ideas, hypothetical ideas to the practical, uh, actual, in the practically they are going to prove it, right? So now I'm going to show you the some real example of this concept, right? From concept to reality, because the first example, all of you are aware about this Burj Khalifa, the Burj Khalifa. So you can see this is the tallest building in the world, and it is standing at 828-meter height. It is almost 2,717 feet tall. So you can imagine that this is the height, and you can see the construction. If you start a if you start a construction of your home for one floor, you can go through the different challenges. But imagine about this Burj Khalifa. So someone have think about this, that this tall building can be constructed. Then this is design. The structure design is there. The material selection of the material was there. Selection of site was there. And now this is the real structure, and we can see here. So now I'm going to discuss what are the challenges faced during this construction. First, it was the designing, then important part was this the tallest building. So the important part was the foundations, how we have to construct the foundation. So what the actually it was that conducting the buildings from because its weight and with this high wind, because if the height is increased, so the wind load is affected the building. So we have to take care of that. In this case, the engineers used a combination of reinforced concrete as well as the steel plates to create a strong foundations, which involves extensive testing and analysis before construction began. That is very much typical and toughest work for this. That's why we can say this is the concept from the, this just was a Burj Khalifa was when it was not constructed, it was just a concept. Then it is real, you can see how this is constructed. Now, one more example we have the Panama Canal expansion projects. We all are aware about this, the importance of this canal. And now this canal expansion project was completed in 2016. It was undertaking to widen and deepen the existing canal to allow larger ships to pass through. Because earlier there, the width was not so much much was there, and the deep it was smaller ships are used to pass through it.
Sir, I'm very sorry to interrupt, but your voice is not audible, sir. Sir, Vishal sir, can you hear me? Sir, your voice is not audible. Your voice is not audible, sir.
uh, yeah, just give me some time. Yeah, we are discussing about the pandemic expansion. These are the real life example of the constructions from concept to reality. Now I'm going to conclude this topic as from this we can say that the construction process is very complex and challenging endeavor that requires the coordination of the many different professionals. Then civil engineering play a critical role in the process, working with the architects, contractors, and other professionals to turn the concept and ideas into the physical structures. So this is what we are going to this conclusion. So the role of civil engineers is very complex and very tidy, and this they civil engineers is the persons who is going to change the concept to the reality. That was now I'm going to some points about the School of Polytechnic of the LPU. So the top notch facilities, different laboratories are there. We have then these are the some and there are the some companies where our student polytechnic placements are got placed here, and some extracurricular activities we have participated in that various activities in the campus only, like one word one India, and we get the award also, right? That was all from my side. Thank you.
Sir, thank you so much for giving this presentation. Thank you so much, first of all, for being here, for giving your time, crediting your time for us, for all the participants, and with your experience and the knowledge that you've given through the session. We are thankful for that. Sir, as it is written on the screen, of course, any queries, so we have certain queries. So with your permission, can we take them up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sure.
So this first question from Mithani Bajwa, and she wants to know, can we move towards a sustainable construction in future? And if yes, then how?
When we say the sustainable constructions, we have moved towards the sustainable constructions. You have heard about the various greenhouse buildings. They are example of the sustainables. Not only the sustainables, we are using the waste material in the constructions projects. So already we are not have to think, they're already working there, civil engineers. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And I also agree with that. We have been looking forward for sustainable development, I think, for so long now. And government also is doing their bit, their part to promote the sustainable development. And sir, with this, we have another question from Uruf Javed. And he wants to know, sir, if we can have this green roof substrates over our houses. Maybe I think he's directing towards maybe some green roofs that we have over the houses.
When we say the green roof over the houses, so they are not the part of the construction, but this is the choice, and this is also going to protect our building from the outer weathering agency. But when we start the greenhouse, so we have to some technical points we have to take care, because we cannot use the soil on the surface of the roof. So in that case, by the proper guidelines, after the proper guidelines of the civil engineers, because we have to protect our concrete also, because when we start the greenery of the roof, so there will be a moisture will be present there, so we have to take care. By the proper guidance we can use this.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much. And sir, with this, we have our last query, but of course not the least. And it is from Misha Rai. And this query read is, as construction indirectly correlates to the pollution, so how can we balance both of it?
uh, yeah, this is very much this is important point, because when we see the constructions, now we have seen the red bricks were used. So all the bricks were used to emit the carbon dioxide, CO2. So for this, now there are the lots of researches going on, and as well as now you can see the fly brick is used with the waste materials, which emit very less carbon dioxide. So in the civil engineering, taking care of this, and there are the lots of cemented brick is there, so it is taking care, and there are lots of alternative materials are using, and always research is going on in the concern of the pollution.
Thank you so much for resolving the queries of our students, of our attendees. And so thank you again for joining in and for giving your insightful information about the
Thank you so much,
construction.
ma'am.
Yeah, and
Thank you
sir,
so much for your support.
no issues, sir. And sir, pleasure is all ours, and pleasure is all of all the attendees as well. Who've been listening you, who've been getting your experience, and we can learn all about the construction. So, sir, with your permission, because we were getting a lot of admission queries as well. So, with your permission, can I show them the site and some about the admission process as well? So, if you do not want to add up, sir.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Okay. So to all.
Sure.
Okay, sir. So to all the attendees who were looking for these admission queries, and we were getting a lot of admission queries as to how you can take admissions. So for this, I would be telling you about this admission process, right? Now, just in a moment. Yeah, here. So here you can see, I hope my screen is of course visible to you guys. Now you just need to go this side. This is the one-shot resolution for all the queries that you have for any admission process, right? So once you go to this lpu.in, this will be the interface that is visible in front of you, right? So now basically these are the highlights of the university. They might have happened, they are maybe presently happening, or they might be happening in the future, right? But of course all these are the highlights of the university that are correlated to the university. So I would urge you to kindly explore the university first, okay, and then we'll go to our admission process. So because we're catering about admissions, so we simply click on the admissions in here. And once we click on admissions, we can see after 12th, after graduation, after postgrad, doctoral, 10th, diploma, etc. So there are a whole lot of segregated programs that are very beautifully adjusted on the side. And you can see all the programs have their own definition. If you want to go in after 12th, you have after 12th all segregated there, and same after graduation, international, online, distance, etc. So we're going to take an example of, let's say you are an undergraduate student, as in you have completed your 12th grade and wants to take part in an undergraduate program. So simply go to after 12th undergraduate and click on the particular program. Once you click on this particular program, there will be all the disciplines that is visible to you. You can see engineering, computer science, agriculture, chemistry, film, TV, and all the disciplines that you name any of the discipline, and we have the discipline. Now, let's say, because we're talking about the civil engineering a lot, right, today, and also the diploma. So why not we take an example of diploma? So we will be going back and I'll be showing you how you can go to diploma in here. So here you can just check it after 10th program, okay, and after diploma or certificates program. So you can simply click on this after 10th program and there will be all the diploma courses. Basically all the programs that we have to offer you in the diploma are given in here. So once you click on the engineering, we have civil engineering, and because we were talking a lot about civil engineering, so we're going to choose diploma engineering, that is civil engineering. And once we click on that diploma civil engineering, we see a whole lot of knowledge about that particular course. You can see the duration of that course is 3 years and 6 semesters. So this is the basic knowledge that you would want to know about a particular course. Now we'll go brief about all these options that are available on the site, right? So once we go to program details, we see all the eligibility criteria of the program. You can see that this is the eligibility criteria, and you have to have at least 50% aggregate marks in your 10th grade, with maths, science, and English should have been your subjects or equivalent. Also there are other conditions as well, so you need to just check in all the conditions and check whether you're eligible for a particular course or not. Okay, and after you see that okay, you're eligible for a course, now start learning more about that particular course. Once you click on the highlights option in there, there are the student achievements and the rankings of the university that are given in front of you. And once you know about the highlights and the ranking, we have something very interesting to show, very interesting to tell even, is the curriculum part. Is that LPU does provide you all the curriculum beforehand. That is, even before you take admission in the course in the university, you know that whatever you're going to be taught, you know the topics, you know the details, what you will be taught and what you're going to be studying, what you'll be looking forward. And I think that would help you to make a disciplined decision, otherwise you want to go in a particular course or not. Now, moving forward to the very important and hot topic about a course is the fee structure. Once you click on the fee, simply you just need to click on this fee, and here the fee comes in. That is 50,000 per semester. But again, this is not something that we pay regularly. Why? Because our students get a lot of scholarships. And on what basis? These are the basis of the scholarship. You can see 95% or above in your 10th grade, or you have a LP Nest exam, okay? And you need to score good marks to get 58% of program fee waiver. And your fee can be reduced to 21,000 per semester. Now we have three categories of a cutoffs, that is category 1, category 2, and category 3. And all the categories have different cutoffs and different scholarship waivers. So you can see in here, category 2 has 55, category 3 has 50. Now, how can you just check, okay, what LPNS score would be category 1 or 2 or 3? Simply click on this category 1, and there this is the tentative cutoff marks. So your exam is going to be of 90 marks, and you should have at least 65 or above of that, so that you can avail our 58% of the scholarship fee. Scholarship on your fee, right? So this is, I think, the fee part is clear to all the attendees. Now, let's say you were not able to get any of the scholarship in the fee part. So we just click on other scholarships. We have other scholarships as well. You simply just check in out what scholarships you are eligible for and apply for that. Now, is that very much important thing that I would want to tell you is the last date of the admission. Students' last date of the admission is 25th of May 2023. It's just 3-4 days now. So I would urge you, request you to start applying for the course, start applying for the test that you have, so that you can get your favorite course, and you can avail your favorite course and you can come in the university. Now, how you can apply is here. Simply click on apply now option, and there are bare minimum requirements that will be asked from you. And once you click on them, once you all fill in, and once you register it, once you submit it, you will be given your dashboard, and from there you can simply apply. So I hope that I have cleared as to how you can take part in a particular course, how you can apply for a test or for maybe a course. Now, if I could not address any of the thing in here, and if that is your query, you can either post in Q&A box, or you can simple call us. You can either WhatsApp us, or you can have a live video counseling sessions as well. Our counselors will be here to teach you, to guide you, and to resolve your queries. Now, last but not the least is the numbers of our university. You can take either a screenshot of it, maybe write it down somewhere. These are the numbers. You can call on them, and our counselors will be here to provide their assistance and resolve your queries. And I hope that I have given you all the necessary information of about a course and how you can take admission in a particular course or not. So with this, I would like to ask sir, I would like to take permission from sir and all the attendees, of course, to wrap the webinar up, sir. So can I?
Sure, ma'am.
Sir, thank you so much, first of all, sir, joining in, giving your time, giving your
Thank you.
inputs for the students, for us, for me also. And thank you so much to all the students, to all the participants as well for joining in and for being so much valuable and for putting forward your questions as well. So until next time, stay safe and stay healthy and enjoy and start applying for the course, start applying for the tests as well. So until next time, meet you soon in the next webinar. Stay safe and stay healthy. And thank you so much for joining in again.